Hi everyone, Sailor Moon here, Serena here, Sailor Saturn, Sailor Ringworld Ataru here, and today we're going to talk about why did we start a Sailor Moon Fairway? Well, way back in 2008 YL, there wasn't anyone doing this. It wasn't how it was it wasn't how it is now with Sailor Moon Jacob, who showed up in 2020 YL and was on Euro until at least 2022 YL though, doing it. It wasn't like how you had Tina Light Warrior or Tina Light Fighter, whatever her handle is, doing it these days. It isn't like that. Back then, there were folks that gathered Sailor Moon dolls, but there weren't anyone that were playing with them or doing skits or whatever you want to call it. So there wasn't. I mean, yes, Mickey Mouse and SpongeBob SquarePants and Over Mario, yes, they were doing that. And for some way, Rainbow Bright. But as far as Sailor Moon went, there was none. So Dwayne had to make an opening where there was no opening. You know? So the thought was to come on and have a fairway where the dolls, Irwin, Bandai, would either do skits or do all kinds of things, whatever came to mind. Because there wasn't anyone else doing it. And over the years, that's how it was. It was only Dwayne. Either for Sailor Moon Red or Sailor Moon Red 1 or Sailor Moon's Best 1, Sailor Moon's Best 2, or Sailor Moon's Best Sailor Moon on Euro, but we misspelled the U. And then one Sailor Red 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Sailor Moon Row 11, which became Sailor Moon for Life. And then by 2020 YL, Sailor Moon Jacob came along. And he was doing films with the Squeeze Dolls. I guess Great Eastern Glee, I don't know. And he was only there from 2020 YL to about 2022 YL at the latest. And he left. And then you had someone named Tina Lightfire Warrior, whatever, Fighter. She's still around, but she doesn't only do films of Squeeze Dolls from Sailor Moon, but from other drawing shows or drawing films. So there was no one doing that. So then we thought, wouldn't it be so cool if we did something like that? And we did. And we did get a lot of followers, don't get me wrong. Still looking and watching isn't the greatest. But I'm happy for whoever watches our uploads, live streams, or shorts, So, and some folks gave us a hard time. When you're on the interwebs, you get, you're going to deal with haters and things like that. Well, mostly, we end up getting a lot of folks that liked what we did, like Michael Alagi, 86, who was on Euro many years ago, but he no longer is, or other folks that maybe no longer around anymore. Like to say about Nick, 2021. And new folks that back up what we do, like, Omen Boy and all his sundriest fairways over the years, or Katrina Chase, So, anyway, it is what it is. You got any thoughts? Yeah, like you said, Sailor Moon. Like you said, Serena, there wasn't anyone on Euro doing this back in the day. I mean, either they weren't bold enough or fearless enough to do it, or they didn't have the dolls, or they just didn't think it was a thing. Yes, I get it. A lot of doll gatherers, both in the Sailor Moon followership and other followerships, are more into either keeping the dolls in the boxes or taking them out. Very few of them are bold enough to do skits. So there was an opening, And back in the day when we first did it, it was, it was to do something that had never been done before. Because up until then, no one was doing it. Now, we can't say that from 2005 while the 2008 while we didn't have any fairway at all or reckoning with that fairway, so we don't know. I mean, the nearest thing you get to it are skits or clothing playing, but that was about it, And we wanted to do for Sailor Moon what so many folks were already doing for, SpongeBob SquarePants or Over Mario or Mickey Mouse. And we're glad that we made that opening. And over the years, if we were the ones who gave thought to others to do it, at least we don't think we are, Sailor Moon Jacob showed up in 2020 YL until 2022 YL doing it. But he was doing it with squeeze dolls. And at the time, we didn't have a Y speaker, so yeah, we could only make films from the bedroom. And after that, other folks would do it, And I don't know if it was seeing what we did and it gave them the thought of doing it. We'll never know. But that's why we chose to make a Sailor Moon Fairway here on Euro, because there wasn't anyone doing that at the time. And let's be earnest, if there are ranks to the Sailor Moon followership, then playing with dolls or doing skits with dolls has to be on the bottom. Because that's the way it looks like. Like the doll gatherers are on top, the clothing players are somewhere in the middle. Well, I don't really even think there is a rank to it. But at the end of the day, that's why we chose to make a Sailor Moon Fairway, because no one else was doing it. At the time, there wasn't. Not how it is now. But back then, there wasn't anyone doing it. And they don't do it they maybe do it, but they don't do it every day. They might do it every once in a while, or maybe they do it as a one-off. Yeah, you're right about that, Sailor Saturn, Sailor Ringworld Ataru. At the end of the day, some of these folks might not do it the same way that Dwayne does it. They might not do it. And to say that why he chose to do it is that at the time no one else was doing it. It's not how it is now where you got more folks doing it. But if they got the thought from Dwayne or not to do it, that's a whole other saga and a whole other tale. So hopefully this film tells you why that we chose to make a Sailor Moon Fairway and stick with it. No need all the things that were between all the good things and all the bad things that were going on. So if you like this film, then give it a like, share it, playlist it, and we'll see you later.